Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Crisis Technology Center. I'm Sarah Miller, the Vice Chair of the Emerging Technology Caucus. We are doing a series of presentations, and we're about to start one on video presented by Mary Jo Flynn from Sacramento County, California, and Pascal Schuback from the Cascadia Regional Earthquake Work Group in the Seattle area. And with that, I turn it over to Mary Jo.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us on Periscope. For those of you who are watching, make sure you do lots of hearts and get others to follow you. So make sure you add some folks to our video demonstration. So we're going to talk about jumping on the video bandwagon because it is the newest addition to social media. And we're going to talk about why live video is important. So the good, because we separated this into the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is going to be very quick because this is a short tech talk. And then I'm going to hand it over to Pascal, who's going to demonstrate some technology that hopefully we can push over to the screen. He's going to show you some drone technology and some Steadicam technology. So the good is algorithms, specifically on Facebook, because they are promoting their live video feature. There are more algorithm instructions built into promoting that material higher in the feed for individuals. So those algorithms are really important when you start doing live feeds. Of course, there's Periscope that automatically pushes through Twitter when you configure your accounts. And then, depending on your user base for YouTube live video, you'll have additional opportunity to play with those algorithms. But essentially, you end up getting higher results for live video. Engagement is our other good. There's opportunities for transparency and public participation. On Periscope in particular, you have an opportunity to engage with the person who's doing the video. In this case, we've got somebody else looking at the camera in case there's any comments or anything like that. Or anyone else in the feed can comment. So there's an opportunity to have a two-way dialogue with individuals, especially on Periscope, during live video, where you can respond to questions, provide answers, and truly engage with the public. The other good is authentic. You are no longer a nameless, faceless government bureaucrat. It's entirely possible you might be, but with live video, somebody is going to recognize you for who you are. You're going to have a personality, hopefully, on the video, and you're going to be authentic and true to your agency. So people can see you as an individual representing your agency and not necessarily as this big behemoth government that they should ignore or hate. So let's talk about a couple of the bad. We've got lack of practice. So people who use live video aren't really practiced in live video. They haven't used it regularly, and they make kind of rookie mistakes. Picking a backdrop, like a very, very sunny backdrop, will make you look like a silhouette instead of seeing a person. A lot of times people fail to use a tripod. You can see in our example here we're using a tripod, and then Pascal's going to show us a Steadicam. But the tripod is really important, and I've got another slide for that. The location, whether or not there's ambient noise. Think of your location as a character in a set. Once upon a time, I used to do a little work with the movie and TV industry, and we had to think of sets as characters. They complement your message. Also, think about your branding opportunities. People neglect to include their logos or stand by a vehicle that's logoed when they're doing a live video. And lastly, the ambient noise that might be available. You can see that in our demonstration, we're using a microphone to reach the audience who's here live in person, and also a lavalier microphone so that it will pick up specific directional sound into our Periscope feed. That's really important when you're trying to cut out the noise. And coming up later is going to be Kevin Sir talking about what's going into his PIO kit and the different technologies that are available with audio and video to make sure you remedy some of these particular issues. The other rookie mistake is just the basic, is this thing on? Not knowing whether or not you're actually broadcasting. or doing the, hey, I'm still setting up my stuff and the feed's shaky, you haven't really started anything. But you really have to get your equipment together, practice with it. If you need to set up alternate accounts, make sure you do that and practice through those accounts before you practice on your agency's account. And here's some of the ugly. Hot mic syndrome. Hot mic syndrome is when you've finished your recording and you forget that you're still recording. And this has plagued many a person, famous, infamous, dangerous. It doesn't really matter if it's political or not. Anything that is said on a hot mic can be taken out of context. And also, when it comes to hot mic, everybody has a device, and you have to assume that you are always being recorded. Especially if you are in a live video capacity, you're being seen as the public information officer, or you're being seen as a subject matter expert. So the hot mic may be on, but sometimes it's around you. So assume somebody's always recording, and sometimes it's you. The last ugly is shaky video. Shaky video is horrendous. I don't know about you all, but I get a little bit of motion sickness occasionally, especially with horribly shaky video, or if I'm watching video tilted to the side. So please use a tripod or invest in a Steadicam. Find an alternative solution to make sure that image is going to stay steady. If you're going to do like a dashboard cam kind of situation, make sure that you've got a really good mount and try to avoid those crazy bumpy roads when you can. A lot of the tips that I just mentioned before I hand it over to Pascal were on the SMEM chat for July 8th, where a number of us were commenting on live video opportunities, best practices, faux pas, things you don't want to do, things you do want to do. And if you follow along SMEM chat on Twitter, it is every Friday at 9:30 in the morning Pacific time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. But if you do a search for the July 8th SMEM chat, you will see all of the best practices. I think we came up with maybe about 30 or so best practices on that chat. Literally, we were all kind of making them up on the fly, but it's common knowledge for a large extent of what you should do and should not do in live video. So I'm going to hand it over to Pascal, and hopefully we'll be able to push over his drone footage to the other monitor so you could see and his live cam video footage. Oh.
So you're going to need to hold it like
Okay, so I'm going to
So do the drone first.
do the drone first.
So first of all, hi, my name's Pascal Schuback.
Can you stand where I was?
I gotta stand. Bring all my toys in here. So with the drone and being able to show it to you at the same time. So one of the advantages of being a pilot is you get to play with the controls and see them, but the disadvantages of those people crawling all over your head, over your shoulder, looking at the video footage. So what I've done is I've done a simple setup which allows us to see the steps that we have. Perfect. Now I feel like a cook. So what we can do is control the aircraft, fly safely, but then allow people to view the video footage and see that. So I have the drone on. I'm not going to fly it right now, but I'll fly it later, probably in tomorrow's segment with the live video feed. But what you can see is I'm using an Apple device. I have it connected to the wireless network that I'm on. I also have an Apple TV on my wireless device, so I'm connected streaming between my iPhone and the Apple TV, so you see all the exact same controls I do. Whereas if you have the normal HDMI output on the DJI controllers and most controllers, it only pushes out the video feed and not the control feed. So you don't see battery life, anything in that way. So that becomes challenging for some. So what's nice is you have the ability to do stuff. So I can actually control the camera, move it around, see what's going on, go up, go down, and see the information that's coming through. You don't really see that much We won't do that. So you can see that functionality. What's really nice too is now I can go here, go to my broadcast, hit live. I'm going to go live. I won't describe my video. And I'm full. So my memory card's full. So one of the things you have to realize too is also on the actual devices you have memory cards. So I have had this on for a while. Every minute is every flight is approximately 3 gigabytes of data. So you add up data really fast. My data plan at home on my cell phone bill is extremely expensive, but you can broadcast to that. So what I'll do is I'll just do the exact same demo with the handheld, and it's the exact same setup on how it does that with Facebook. So do you want to go on the laptop and do the air? Go to Apple, to the remote one on the display. So here I have just an Osmo camera from DJI. It's a hand gimbal. Same situation, it's an iPhone. It's connected to the network, connected to the Apple TV. You'll see my Facebook on the top right corner. Connected to the Apple TV going there. So I'm going to start broadcasting from this actually to Facebook so that you can see what we're saying on Facebook. The one thing about Facebook and YouTube, I can do stream to both. You can't stream both at the same time. YouTube takes a little bit longer because it actually decompresses, recompresses the video to maximum, and it takes a lot more data capacity on your Wi-Fi card or on your 3G LTE network. So we don't get the best reception, so it has a little delay, about 30 to 40 seconds. Whereas on Facebook, if you have a fairly good connection, you can actually do about a 3-second, 4-second delay. Refresh my page, and it should say I'm on live. There we go. So I'm broadcasting. What's really nice about this camera as well too is how many of you have had the iPhone glitch at about 10 seconds, 20 seconds holding the camera. It starts getting tired, you accidentally drop the camera, bring it back up, and your video's like, whoops, there we go. And so you have that ability to, mess up your video. What's nice about this type of a camera and a gimbal is it stabilizes it as you move. There's some cool really features that allow you to do things such as if I'm walking off of the camera, you can actually track the person. So if I step away from the podium or the pre-focused mic point, it'll follow me along. At the same time, you can choose it if you're in running mode or in handheld mode, so it gimbals the camera much better. But at the same time, it gives you that ability of being able to zoom in, zoom out, take pictures, run the video. It stores the video on the card as well as it's streaming it live, and then you can turn the stream off. But you can integrate with Facebook, so comments and viewers are showing up on my screen, which allows me to then figure out what's going on and not have to necessarily be behind a computer. It's a great way of showing live video footage if you don't have it, to get off-scene personnel, doing a media briefing, and finding out, or just an accident scene or an information scene to figure out what's going on. What I've been using them for is how to do preparedness videos better. So a group of my friends, instead of those mob parties where they dance on the scene, we do like disaster parties where we'll go to Starbucks and practice drop, cover, and hold and record it and make like a 5-10 second video. What to do in a movie theater if there's an earthquake issue. What to do in your car or on a light rail train or on a bus. And it's not the normal environment, but it's nice. It's a little bit more professional than my iPhone, especially since I drop it a lot. But it gives you that ability to connect, record it, but also have that capacity of using it for anything else. The battery life is good on it. It's about 100 minutes of recording time per battery. But at the same time, the iPhone draws a lot of battery power because you're running your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth and you're pushing a lot of data. So it will then really connect to that process. So we can watch here and do double video. Additionally, I purchased an outside microphone. It's a very simple, it's called a Rode mic. Looks very clean. I add the little cap fuzzy to it so it helps draw the wind so you don't hear it as much, but also it doesn't get as dirty if someone spits on it or anything. But it can point about 10 to 15 feet away, and it sounds so much better than an iPhone or the built-in microphone on the device.